Hey everybody, JC here. Happy Saturday afternoon. It's about 12:45. About to take my Tesla out for another full self-drive on version 13.2.1. So let's get going. I will push the little blue button. I've already got our destinations all set and we'll talk about them once we get on the road. But let me go ahead and push the button. Button is pushed. Start backing out. There we go. Straighten up. Got the lawn crews out this afternoon. Gonna take it easy through there. There we go. Good job. Trash day as well. So we've got all the trash containers out. Doing well with those. Vehicles parked on both sides of the road. Do well with that. Come up to the stop sign. Make a complete 0 mph NHTSA stop. Put on our right blinker and here we go. Got an oncoming vehicle, handle that perfectly. Stay nice tight right turn. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in the greater Houston metropolitan area. I am in a place called Porter, Texas, which is about 40 miles northeast of downtown Houston. Apologies if those of you have been watching my videos for a while. I know I repeat some of the same information, but I've been getting so many new people to my videos that I want to make sure that I repeat some of the preamble stuff so that they know what part of the country I happen to be in, where I'm doing these drives. There we go, nice left turn there. Got a right turn coming up. Look at that, we got a Tesla in the house. Nice red, give them a little Tesla nod there. Red Model 3. All right, we're coming up to the traffic circle in our neighborhood here. Go right into the traffic circle. We're gonna come make an immediate right. Great job. Put on our left blinker. Come up to the three-way stop. Make a 0 mph NHTSA stop. There we go. Now we make our left turn. Great job. There's another Tesla. 2 other Teslas I've seen in the neighborhood today. That's incredible for here. I mean, I know that my friends in California are looking at it like, JC, I've got that in my own driveway. Well, yeah, not here. All right, make our stop, put on the left blinker. There we go. No, that's great. Love seeing more Teslas around this part of the country. All right. We are going down a little country road here. It's actually got pretty good lane markings. A little bit more narrow than normal, but it's pretty well paved. Really the only thing that you got to be cognizant of on this road right here is there are a lot of animals, a lot of critters, a lot of dogs and cats and that are outdoor animals around here. And then obviously armadillos and possums and stuff like that. And Tesla's done really well. I've said it on a number of other videos that at least a half a dozen times we've stopped for animals crossing that road right there. So I don't know what the number is, 6, 7, or 8, but whatever it is, we're 6 out of 6, 7 out of 7, 8 out of 8. It's always been really, really good. And most of the time it's been at night. All right, we're coming up to our railroad intersection. We come to the two-way stop here, actually, 0 mile per hour stop. We got a car coming through on the left. There we go. Take our turn, cross over the railroad tracks, come up to the stop. 494 has the right-of-way. Got the car oncoming. They pass through. We take our turn. Great job. Nice left turn, nice and tight. Yeah, that intersection of 494 and Knox Drive, or Knox Road, I should say, that has been completely cured. Any of the issues I might have been having on previous versions, on version 12, where it wasn't recognizing that traffic light infrastructure wasn't turned on yet. Oh, look, they've opened up some of the construction here. Nice. So this is different. This is completely different than the last time we came through. Very nice. Great job. So this right here is brand new. Like literally, I drove through here yesterday and this wasn't opened up yet. So that's what vision can do for you. This road right here is 100% different. All right, now here's a little snafu that it did. It's not an intervention snafu, but, and again, this is due to road construction. They also opened up a right turning lane right there, and Tesla FSD missed that they had opened up a temporary right turning lane over there. So we're still good to go. We can turn right from here, but there's a lane over there just for turning right. Fortunately, obviously, we're not gonna hold up anybody. This usually is like the area you would have a turning lane. So that's new. I like the fact that they're building in a dedicated turning lane that goes right, but the FSD missed it. And quite frankly, I would have too, because this is completely new. So that's interesting. We'll just see how we do here, making this right turn around the brand new road sections that they opened up here since yesterday, I guess. There we go. We got our green. Make our right turn. There you go. All right. Well, no issues, no harm, no foul. But from that car, why are you pulling out so slow? My gosh. I think they want to get a new vehicle or something. Well, Tesla FSD doesn't do that. Sorry. That car was like literally creeping out. That is dangerous. That's what I'm saying. It's either they're confused or they're looking to get a new vehicle, but they chose the wrong vehicle to get in front of. Tesla FSD handles that perfectly. So yeah, no intervention, no harm, no foul, but a bit of a snafu in that it did have an opportunity. They had opened up a brand new dedicated turning lane to turn right onto North Park, and Tesla FSD missed that. But I mean, obviously it's not on any maps at all. And I would have missed that as a human. I didn't even see that because it was all brand new. But it's still just a little bit of a nuanced snafu. We'll see as time progresses. We'll see. Well, as time progresses, they'll probably completely get rid of all those cones now, so it won't be an issue. But we'll just see how it does as we continue on. All right, so we are. Looks like we're going to sit through another traffic light here at the intersection of North Park and 59 East X Freeway, so that's fine. Give me a chance to tell you what we're doing today. So again, quick preamble. I am on Tesla full self-driving, supervised, version 13.2.1. And I've had this software version for just about a week now. Interesting, they literally just an hour ago announced that a new point release is being disseminated out, 13.2.2, and that is currently going out to the early access testers, what we call the OGs. There's a small handful of folks that have been testing and driving Tesla FSD for 4 years or more now. And so again, it's a very small, tight-knit group of, I don't know the exact number, but there's probably about 5 or 6 that are public, and that, you know, do drives and provide videos to us in the community and the public. There's probably more than that that may not publicly announce it or publicly put videos out there. But again, for all intents and purposes, there's a healthy handful of them that are getting it right now as we speak. So I will be interested to see if there are any interesting nuance differences between 13.2.1 and 13.2.2. Usually in point releases like that, there may be some slight improvements, but nothing like major. So like a major update would be going from, well, let's do a humongous update is going from version 12 to version 13, right? That's a whole different, you know, stack. Then a major update is going from like 13.2 to 13.3. That's usually going to bring some pretty significant updates. 13.2.1 to 13.2.3, kind of think of that as when you get your iPhone updated, you know, every couple of weeks, right? Definitely bring some improvements, but nothing that's like a mega huge difference. But again, it'll be interesting to see. I do not have that yet, so I checked right before we left, but I was presuming I would not have it. I am not part of that original early access group. Like I said, I just came into the Tesla community myself 2 years ago. And that was based on one of those OGs, Omar's blog, Omar. And so I highly recommend that the folks that I know publicly that do it, you've got Omar's blog, AI Driver, JD, one that does their names, Chuck Cook, Dirty Tesla, and I know there's one more probably that I'm, if it comes to mind, I know there's one more out there. There's probably a handful more, but those are the 4 that come directly to mind that do videos that also have AI for Teslas and are early access folks. So yeah, so definitely check their stuff out. Anytime something brand new comes out, go check out Omar's blog, Dirty Tesla, Chuck Cook, AI Driver. And if somebody else comes to mind during my drive, I'm going to plug them as well. But they always get it first. None of them happen to be in my area. So Omar is in California, Southern California. Chuck Cook is in Florida. AI Driver is in Northern California, in the San Francisco, Silicon Valley area. And then Dirty Tesla is up in Michigan. So nobody that I'm aware of that's in that small crew is in the Houston, Texas area. So at this point in the juncture, even though I'm on the 2nd or 3rd wave, I'm kind of it for the greater Houston area. Jeez Louise, that guy is like all over the place. My God, put your phone down, sir. But hey, Tesla FSD handled it perfectly. So yeah, that's what I'm on. What we're doing today, we have left my home in Porter, Texas, and we are gonna go downtown. I've got a small handful of coordinates pinned in for downtown Houston, and then from there we're gonna go to the Museum District and the Rice University area and try out some coordinates there. And it's probably pretty good that I'm doing that today, because I may be getting 13.2.2 fairly soon. So I really wanted to see how it did downtown, Museum District, and Rice University. And so as soon as I get done with this, I may have a new point release in a day or two. So good that I am doing this today. And I wanted to do Museum District and Rice University on a Saturday because the Museum District is a bit busier on Saturdays. Downtown obviously won't be. So one of these days, I'll try to do a dedicated trip to downtown and do some more point coordinates around downtown. But I really wanted to do kind of all of it today while it's Saturday afternoon, which is kind of a busy time of the week, and while I had more time, right? So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We are on 59 East Tex Freeway. We are going 80 and a 65, doing great here, going along with traffic. Like I said, gorgeous day. It is 59 degrees, no clouds, beautiful sun. All right. So one other thing that I thought I might do on these Tesla FSD drives while I am en route to certain destinations is try to handle some of the questions that I've been getting on YouTube. Not as much on X, because quite frankly, most of the folks that follow me on X, which is formerly Twitter, so if you're not on X, I highly recommend it, especially if you're in the Tesla community. If you own a Tesla, or if you are interested in possibly getting a Tesla, I highly recommend subscribing, getting on X and getting an account and subscribing, because all of the latest and greatest information about Tesla, about the vehicles, the Tesla network, FSD, the supercharging network, everything, soup to nuts, it's going to be on X first, because all of the content creators and all of the major, what I will call media figures within the Tesla universe, they're all big X accounts. So like Sawyer Merritt, again, I mentioned Omar before. He goes by, his handle is Omar's blog. So Sawyer, Omar, and a whole lot of other folks, they are all on X, and that's where they primarily do their reporting. So I cannot reiterate that enough. If you are even tangentially interested in Tesla and what I'm doing today, please go on X and make an account there. And so you can follow me on X as well. I say all that to say I've got a lot more followers on X. I'm about up to 5,300 followers now, so thank you very much to everybody that follows me on X. I appreciate every single one of you. And so obviously I get quite a lot more. Historically, I've gotten a lot more views and comments and stuff on X on my videos. And quite frankly, I just recently, in the last 2 or 3 months, really started getting serious about YouTube. And the reason why I wanted to go ahead and pay just as much attention, if not more, to my YouTube content as I do my X content is because everybody that follows me on X already knows all this. So for them, what I'm doing right now, really nothing new about it. They like to stay up to date, obviously, and they're friends of mine, and they check in and see how my drives are doing, seeing if there was anything interesting. But there's really nothing new to them. On YouTube, though, I'm seeing in the comments that there is quite a lot of new interest in Tesla. And from a lot of folks that do not own Teslas and are possibly interested in getting a Tesla because they've heard how amazing the vehicles are, or because of FSD. They're fascinated by FSD. So for that reason, I have made the decision to really start focusing in on YouTube as well. Doesn't mean I'm leaving it. By no means. That's where my main handle is. That's where I'm coming from. But I really want to focus in on YouTube as well, and really focus in on folks that may live in my neck of the woods, in Southeast Texas, in East Texas, or just all over Texas and Louisiana, and places that really haven't thought about Tesla as much in the past, or EVs in general, and answer some of their questions. And so let me start out by saying, if you're watching this video on X, you're already going to know a lot of this, but bear with me, because I really want to reach out and for lack of a better term, help my folks here in the greater Southeast Texas and East Texas area that may have a brand new interest in all things Tesla and everything that goes along with that. So let me tackle the first one. Well, actually, it's the second one. I tackled one of them in yesterday's video about why there's so many gas stations versus public charging stations. And yes, we do need more, but why we'll never ever need as many public charging stations as we have gas stations. So I went through that in yesterday's video. I went through how I personally charge up my Tesla. And I went through the fact pattern of, hey, it's been a month and a half since I've ever even used a public charger. And let me just be open and transparent with you. I had Tesla FSD take me to the New Caney Tesla supercharger yesterday. I didn't charge up because I didn't need to. But I wanted to go there to show you the Tesla supercharger in New Caney. Also to see what, if anything, Tesla FSD might do in that supercharger parking lot. It did not try to reverse in and park us, so not there yet. But I didn't charge there. So I have gone 40 to 45 days. I'd have to check my calendar since we got back from Kentucky. When did we get back? I want to say it was November 3rd. So my last time to use a public charging station, a Tesla supercharger. When I say public charging station, that's almost always going to mean Tesla supercharger for me. So it's November 3rd. So do the math on that. Today is the 21st, I believe. 22nd. Sorry, it's Saturday. Either way, it's been about over 45 days, almost 2 months, since I have used a public charger. It has all been from my house, and it's all been through 110 volt. So I went through all of that yesterday. That was one of the questions I got. One of the other questions that I got, as we're about 3.5 miles in from downtown Houston, getting to our first set of locations, is about the charging process itself. And obviously you can go from 0 to 100%. But there was a question about, well, how long does it take to charge, and how long are you going to be sitting there to get all the way up to 100%? And I may have answered, I think I answered this in a previous video from maybe a month ago, but quite frankly, and thank you to everyone that's a new subscriber on YouTube. My subscriber base on YouTube a month ago compared to where it is today is kind of night and day, which is awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. And please Somebody reminded me yesterday in one of my comments. They were like, dude, you're growing so much, and kudos to you, great job, great content, but you didn't even ask anybody to subscribe to you. And I was like, you know, you're right. You know, because I'm retired. I'm doing this because I love Tesla. I love my Tesla. I love the company Tesla and their mission and what they're doing for the world. I love my Tesla. I love FSD. And so that's what I'm doing it for, is to bring to y'all. I'm not necessarily doing it to try to grow a social network platform. But at the end of the day, why not? That is going to be the way that I most successfully do what I want to do as a retired, you know, local yokel. You know, I've been there, done that. I've done my thing from a professional setting. I was in corporate America for over 30 years. Before that, I was a Marine, active duty Marine for 6 years. I've done my thing, and I loved it. And it just changed the trajectory of my life. And I've been able to retire at the age of 55. And I thank you, KPMG, for that from the bottom of my heart. I will always, till my dying day, bleed blue for KPMG, because what they've done for me and my family and my children, and quite frankly, what they've done for my grandchildren that don't exist and my great-grandchildren that don't exist. So thank you, KPMG. But I also bleed red for Tesla. And so that's my life now. And so yeah, probably the best way to do that successfully is go ahead and try to grow my social network platform. So I'm doing that through X. I've been doing that through X for a couple of years now. And thankfully, like I said, I'm up to 5,300 followers now. Thank you so much. I know that's still a small account in the whole scheme of things, but for me, that's a big deal. I went from having one follower, me, a couple of years ago, to 5,300 of you. Hey, let me keep up with that JC guy over in Porter, Texas, and I appreciate every single one of you. And so, yeah, YouTube, I want to focus in on that now. So I've always been putting my videos out there on YouTube as well, but quite frankly, really just for my family and friends back in the day, because they weren't on X, formerly Twitter, maybe, you know, and so, you know, they're just not the type of folks that are gonna, you know, they're gonna be on Facebook, which is fine. You know, I love banana nut bread recipes and maple syrup pancake recipes just as much as anybody else. But, you know, I kind of keep up with the Facebook stuff through my wife. And I focus in a bit more on X, because I do like to keep up with, you know, Tesla and breaking news and things that are going on worldwide. I'm not trying to throw shade at Facebook. I'm definitely not, because like I said, my wife is an ardent user of it, so I stay up with it through her. But I'm mostly on X, and so I also have I've been historically putting my videos out on YouTube, because that's obviously the #1 video content platform. And so I've had it historically just out there for family and friends. And so I made the concerted effort about 2 or 3 months ago. You know what? Let's go hard in the paint on YouTube as well. Because there's a lot more people in Southeast Texas and East Texas and Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma than just my family and friends. Probably about 40% more people out there. All right, so we're starting, we got about a half mile till we make it into downtown. Sorry my preamble took so long there, but I kind of did want to set that up, that I do want to start handling YouTube questions through these videos as well. All right, so we are starting to make our way up towards downtown. You can see downtown in the forefront. Hey, I can already tell I can already tell one difference with 13.2.1 versus version 12. We got over in this right lane for some reason, and now we're getting back over here. It is just much more confident and decisive, and just look at that. That's a beautiful Model Y in front of us. All right, what are we gonna do? There we go. We need to get back over. Yeah, it's just, wow. It's just so much more decisive and so we are, and I apologize. My preamble was so doggone long, I didn't even get to start on my first question of the day, but we will get to it, I promise you. I've got my notes all right here. I've got about 3 or 4 questions down. And if we don't get to all of them today, because if you haven't gathered it yet, I'm pretty long-winded. And I apologize if I'm not your cup of tea because I get long-winded. I hope you stay with me and learn to love me, or at least learn to tolerate me. You know, my wife has. So if my wife can learn to tolerate me, all of you can as well. So I do have my notes here. I got my questions. And what I can promise you is we will definitely get to them today, some of them today. If I don't get to all of them, I do videos all the time. You can probably see by now, I try to get out one a day. But we are in downtown. You can see Minute Maid Park, the home of the Houston Astros, directly in front of us. So the first destination I have, like I said, we're going into downtown. There's our first place that we're kind of going through is Minute Maid Park. I do have some coordinates in here. So in a second here, I'm gonna need to bring up my user interface and use my navigation as we kind of meet each of these destinations. So I do want to kind of go around downtown a bit. Like I said, Minute Maid Park, that is the home of the Houston Astros, World Series champions. Unfortunately not this year. Congratulations, Los Angeles Dodgers. Hopefully no bad blood between us. Come on, guys. I know we've had our history. I know. But it's time to put down the pitchforks, Dodgers fans. I got family that bleed Dodger blue. In my own family. Because half my family, my wife's family, is all from Los Angeles. Put down the pitchforks. We're all one big happy family. Congratulations. I just said it. Congratulations on your World Series win. I have 2 Dodgers fans that live underneath my roof. My wife and my brother-in-law are underneath it. So I got 2 hardcore Dodgers fans under my roof. So don't give me crap as a Houston Astros fan. I'm paying my dues. I pay the mortgage, damn it. All right, let me pull up. There we go. So as we get by Toyota Center here, we'll be coming up on it pretty soon. Yeah, we're just going through downtown. Should be coming up on so the Toyota Center is where our Rockets play, the Houston Rockets, who are also World champions. Now granted, that's a bit dated, about as dated as my Dallas Cowboys. But still, they've got 2 chips underneath their name. You can't take that away from them, ever. All right. A lot of folks out here walking around on a beautiful Saturday. Just a man, I'm telling you what, I guarantee you the museum district's gonna be busy today. As beautiful as it is, oh my gosh, you know it. All right, so I see the Toyota Center right over there. You can see it. I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of it, if I can do that. All right. There we go, and there's the Toyota Center right there. It's where our Houston Rockets play. It's where there's a bunch of concerts. Took my wife and my daughter and one of their friends, a family friend, to the Mariah Carey concert there not long ago. I did not attend. nor shall I attend. One of these days, I'm just going to have to grin and bear it and go to one of these with my wife. She looked like New Kids on the Block. I didn't go to that with her either. I didn't go to Salt and Pepper with her. Salt and Pepper. I didn't go to Mariah Carey. There's like a handful of them. I think there was a Mary J. Blige she went to. I got to do it. I'm just going to have to do it. Yes, I'm going to have to be that dorky white dude hanging out, pumping my fist to Salt and Pepper. Nah, I love it. That was a great band back then. But that's, yeah, she's like that 80s, 90s, you know, mainly 90s stuff. So I love it too. But man, I don't know, just that's a lot of estrogen. That is a lot of estrogen. One of these days, I'm just gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to grin and bear it. Have my wife protect me. Well, probably not a lot of protecting she's gonna need to do. They're not there to look at me, that's for damn sure. All right, we're progressing on through here. We got fire engines coming through, but we got ahead of them. Our next stop, I'm gonna take y'all by the infamous Enron building. All right, we got a green light, and directly ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of this. You can see the Enron building right in front of us. That is where it all took place. So they call it the Speed Stick building. So if you see that tunnel right there that goes across, what are we on? We're on Smith Street. So that building right there is where Enron used to be. I believe it's Chevron now. I believe that's Chevron's building. All right, we made a left. That, I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at that. We did a left on red. And I don't know if you can do that. I'm gonna have to check the Texas state law. I believe in downtown, you can definitely make a right on left. There was nobody coming, but we'll check on that. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna have to think about that. It made a course correction. Nobody was at that intersection. It got over to the left and made a left. I'm gonna have, because that is not just a Texas thing. That may be a downtown. I'll have to check, because I know people have done it before, but don't don't go by what people do. I do know that people obviously go right on red in downtown, and I've seen them go left on red, but don't hold me to that one. That is definitely an emergent. The only way it does something like that is by seeing a human being. That was, oh my God. I don't know if we want this. Hell, we may have to think about that one. That was clearly based off of watching human video. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, let me get my head back into this. The next place I'm taking you to is Market Square Park. And we're just going through downtown right now. Let's see. Got the Jones Center right there. Getting over to the right, because we're going to need to take a right here. All right. Going by the Lancaster Hotel. Like I said, Jones Center for Performing Arts over to our right. Got the JP Morgan Chase building right there. Which way we got to go here? Yeah, we're going to eventually need to get over to the left. Yeah, I'm still, man, that is just amazing. So we were stopped it was rerouting. There was nobody at the intersection, and it took a left from there. Man, that is interesting. And people do that all the time. Man, interesting. All right, getting over here. Got a pedestrian. Got a number. Man, it just did so, wow. So we had a pedestrian there, two coming into the crosswalk, but it knew it didn't have the hippie-jibbies. It just knew it was good to go. Man, previous versions, it would have just stuck on it and just gotten scared to death. All right. Let me go ahead and pull this up again. All right. So this area right here is the whole, what we call the Market Square area. All right, we're gonna take a right now, and a young gentleman is showing, oh, I guess that was a sudden stop. I think Tesla wanted to see what kind of dance moves he was gonna do. He was showing us something, as you can see. All right, progressing over the railroad tracks. Yeah, he had something to show us, and I don't know, maybe Tesla FSD wanted to see what that was. I personally didn't. I know exactly, I have one myself, so I don't need to see. But yeah, that was a little sudden, and I don't know if that was a nuanced snafu. I just think that it just didn't know what that dude was about to do. And so it made like a sudden stop right there. So I'm okay with that. All right. So our next, oh, all right, let me, that was funny as hell. All right. I'm telling you, it's just, I'm literally at a stoplight. Yeah, I gotta go. I've got a service center appointment for, all right, here we go. I've got a service center appointment for a couple of days after Christmas. Let me get this going again here. I've got a service center appointment to have them look at my front camera. That's interesting. Like getting the red hands at 0. Three in a row there on the same stretch. Well, we'll just see how it does. So that's interesting. I had a red hands at 0 miles per hour, and then literally two back to back on the same block going 10 miles an hour. Interesting. But like I said, as I was mentioning it, I am going to, I've heard that there's a service bulletin out there for all AI4 Model 3. I shouldn't say all, but I've heard that there's for AI4 Model 3s, you know, this is an AI4 Model 3, and so to have the front cam, there can be, sometimes you can get some gas and some moisture in there, and so I know a lot of folks have had that looked at by Tesla service, and then once that was looked at and I guess cleaned out, they did not have those red hands any longer. But we'll just see. See, that was just interesting. I mean, it comes up at like the darndest times. I mean, I literally just spent 45 minutes driving straight into the sun and then at a stoplight. So it's like interesting. So let's get through a little bit of this first. And so we are heading our way out of downtown now. Let's get through downtown and we will be heading towards the museum district. All right. Going under a parking garage bridge here, and we're getting on the other side of downtown. All right. And I promise you, when we're done with the museum district and Rice University, again, the same stretch of road. That is interesting. Man. And you see the speed we're going. So, yeah. I think it clearly shows I need to go get my camera checked by the service guys. So, anywho, we'll get through it. Don't worry. That is something that is easily solved. That's why I like to do these longer videos too, to show you that, yes, I do get those red hands, and there I got them like back to back to back in the exact same place. So clearly there was something going on that one stretch of Fannin. Literally, that was like a half-mile stretch of Fannin where, I don't know if it was just the contrast to going into the sun and out of the sun. I don't know. But the reason I like to do these longer videos is because I want to show that it's, you know, to not have it be isolated. Because I think a lot of people are like, look, I got the red hand. It's like, well, yeah, but how long were you in the car for? Oh, hour and a half. Okay. Well, I mean, were you expecting Orville and Wilbur Wright to cross the Atlantic in 1901? I mean, no, this is a journey here. So that's why I like to show the entire video, right? Uncut, unedited, and just give it to you all instead of like in a vacuum. Are we there yet to have unsupervised robo-taxi? No, of course not. And nobody said it is. That's why it's called supervised. But when you can drive around for 2 hours and all but 10 seconds of it is completely with you not touching the steering wheel or hitting the brake or the accelerator, well, you know we're pretty damn close, right? Like I said, the Wright brothers did not cross the Atlantic in 1901. What they did in 1901 was tremendous, but they didn't cross the Atlantic. That took a few more years. We'll get there, folks. We're gonna get there. All right. So we are continuing to matriculate our way from downtown towards the museum district. Let's see. We are on Fannin right now. Eventually we're gonna need to get over to Main Street, which is that way. So we're going parallel with Main, and I guess we're gonna go parallel for a little while. There we go, starting to, eventually we're gonna get over to Main. Let me see, there we go. Let me change this because, there we go. All right. I'm going to bring up the UI just for a little while. Because once we get on Main, then I'm going to exit out of the next destination and keep us going through the museum district and on to Rice University, and then around the museum district some more. All right, we're making our way over to the right. All right, we got a work truck to the right. Got some cones we need to go through. Excellent. Continuing to work our way through. About another 3 or 4 blocks, we'll be turning right to get over to Main Street. I think we're actually in the Montrose area right now. Just on the outer edges of Montrose. All right. Yep. Here we go. Take a right here on Wichita, and then an immediate left onto Main Street. There we go. Let me get this ready. And creep up a little bit. We got some oncoming traffic on both sides, so we've got to wait for a gap. The car turning in. Still got oncoming vehicles, so we're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. Got a car about to, let's see, got a car about to turn left. Come on, there you go, ma'am. Come on through. Good job. And we creep it. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right. Let me go ahead and exit out of that one. All right, we're coming into the museum district. Maybe you can see the Herman Square fountain in front of us. Got St. Paul's Church over there. Got the Museum of Fine Arts on both sides of the street here. Hotel Zaza right over there. Great place for a Saturday or Sunday brunch. All right, we're going into the big traffic circle here at Herman Square. Minkum Fountain. There we go. Great job. Nice. Very smooth. Continue to matriculate our way through. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right. In about a half mile here, we're going to turn right into Rice University. So to our left is Herman Park. To our right is Rice University. We are on Main Street, going right down the middle between both of them. This is just a beautiful area of Houston right here. You can see with the oak trees over the top of Main Street. There's the formal entrance to Rice University. I don't believe many people actually go through that entrance right there. But that's the entrance. That'll take you to Lovett Hall. We're going to go by Lovett Hall here in a little bit. But first we're going to get on the south end of the campus. All right. Man, just a gorgeous day. It is 58 degrees. Beautiful sun, no clouds, as we already know. Oh, man. It's just a gorgeous day. Man. I'll tell you what, it's this time of year, the November, December, early January even, like the first half of January, I mean, it just doesn't get a lot better from a weather, just how beautiful it is. And the weather is just perfect. Just that crisp, you know, high 50s, low 60s, crisp air. Just phenomenal. We pay for it in the summer, though. All right, here we go. Got about another quarter mile. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Apologies, I'm looking at my navigation just to make sure. All right. Looks like we're gonna take a right here at Cambridge. All right, creep up, nobody coming, so we go. This is an interesting way to go. I mean, what do you say, 6 out of 12, half a dozen of the other? Just see how we do here. All right, we're going to take a right up here at the stop sign that you can't even see. Yeah, that stop sign is, well, it's not there. Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Let's see. Let me bring up my navigation here. There we go. All right, we got a truck, Ford F-150. Actually, that's a 250, my bad. Through here we go. Man, it's just gorgeous. All right, we're gonna take a ride up here in a second. Got a visible stop sign here. All right, got cars coming through. Take our turn. Very, very tight here. Awesome, great job. All right. Let me pull my stuff again. Let's see. Actually, where's the next one? Yeah, we're going to Lovett Hall. So as you can see, we are on the Rice University campus here. Got classrooms, libraries to our left and right. Not a lot of students out here. Hopefully they're not still sleeping. It's 1:45. Come on, kids, wake up. But hope maybe they're out and about today. But man, their campus is so beautiful. I'd be out and about around here. All right, got a car parallel parking over there. Whoa. There we go. Continue on through. Looks like we got some pedestrians to the left of us here in a second. There we go. We'll let them through. There we go. Let them It's like, they were like, you go. No, I was like, oh, you go. All right, we come to the stop. There's Lovett Hall. So we'll exit out of that. Yeah, that was tight through there. Those people, but yeah. You know how college campuses are. Everything's pretty tight and snug. And sometimes you're going to have to get over lines to avoid people or avoid objects. But you just got to do it. That's why I like coming out to Rice University. Because it gives you some real world scenarios that you may not see in other places. And see how it does with objects and people, right? So, all right. Our next stop is Rice University Stadium. We're just going to continue to work our way around Rice University here. Got some pedestrians to the right. Got a stop sign here. All right. Got the red hands. Re-engage. Bring it back up. Okay, we got a four-way stop here. Now this is where we had a critical intervention a few months ago, and it fixed it. It fixed it. Thank you. Nice. All right, it's going to turn right here towards Rice University. That's awesome. I love it. So that's where I had a critical intervention a while back. Let me exit out of Rice here and have it reroute. So about, oh gosh, a month or so ago, I had a critical intervention on a previous version of version 12 right there. Tesla FSD did not recognize that that went from a one-way to a two-way, and it stayed over in the left lane. It went over, just kept going in the left lane, and you notice there that it got over, and it did that before even putting on any blinker. And that was the exact same route that I did last time. So the route was exactly the same. Everything was exactly the same. In fact, this one was a little bit more difficult. And the reason why is when I had the critical intervention, there was literally a car in that lane. So my car stopped. It got over in the wrong lane, but then it stopped because it saw that other car. It's like, oh crap, we're wrong. And so technically you think, well, if you got a car ahead of you, you can work off of that and know you shouldn't be there. This time around, we had no car there, and it moved over. So that one was cured. Thank you, Tesla AI. So that was a place where I had a critical intervention on version 12 about a month or two ago, and it no longer exists. That's great. All right, we need to get over to the, which way is it going now? Okay, going around here. Let's see what we do. We should have gone right there. Instead, it went left. But I'm just going to let it work itself out. So that was not a, it went, it's fine. I mean, we're obviously okay going this way. There's no issue, but that was the wrong for our navigation setting for where we want to go. So now it's going to need to come back around. Look, kids, Rice Stadium again. We'll see if it can, sometimes I think the issue is I want to show you all these places, but because I have it all preset in navigation and I'm trying to get into and out of them, sometimes I think that me doing that, like instead of just letting it park somewhere and then redoing it again, it's like it's not having enough time to reroute. So I may be we'll see here in a second whether now that it's had time to fully route that it does better. I don't know if that made any sense, but you know what I mean? Like when you've got stuff pre-mapped and then you're exiting out of it before it actually gets to that destination and make it go on to the next one, it's got to reroute everything. And so sometimes I'll wonder if that process, but so be it, no biggie. All right, let's see how we do this time. Come back up here, take a left. We've got the right of way. All right, let's see how we do this go around. Do we go the right way? Well, actually, I don't think this was the, we got our right blinker on, so that's positive. Right, we're good. Actually, now that I think about it, hold on a second. Let me just give me a second here to oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here's where we're. Here's our. We got a left turn after the stop sign. There we go. It's got the right blinker on, but it had a bad lane selection here. It did not get over in the right lane. So we don't have any vehicles in the right lane over there. There's no vehicles around here, but it made a bad lane selection there. So not an intervention, but that was bad lane selection. So gonna have to report that. That is one where clearly the arrows, you had one arrow going left and one going right. So we got a big bus here that we're going to need to maneuver around. It is tight. Woo, it is tight. And keep going. Keep going. There you go. Up. We're at the two. So let me exit out of this. I forgot to edit trip. There you go. All right, we're at our destination. Sorry about that. I forgot to exit out of that one. So it did stop. But see, that's why I'm trying to exit out of each place as we go by it so that we avoid that. So now we are going to leave Rice University and head back into the museum district. Get around that work truck very nicely. Got a crosswalk there, but nobody going through it, so we were good. That's just a beautiful campus here. Gorgeous. All right, we're going to take a right up here. We don't have a stop sign, so there we go. Yeah, I didn't see one. Yeah, looks like we have the right of way there. Yep, looking back, no stop sign for us there. All right. Make a stop here at the stop sign. And then we'll head back up to Main Street, the light ahead that you see, and then we'll take a left onto Main Street and get back into the medical center. There we go. Did a nice little loop around Rice University. No interventions in Rice. We did not have, well, obviously we had the red hands, but I take, again, the red hands is a whole separate thing. Like I said, I'm going to go get my front camera housing cleaned out, and we'll see if that helps a bit. But one thing I've noticed too is as the software marinates, those get better and better. So like I said, I do not worry about the red hands. So as far as like critical interventions, there were none. There was an area we went through that we had a critical intervention at a month or two ago, and it got cured. So I'm happy. That's worth this entire trip. It's that we got over to the right and we didn't go down that two-way, the wrong way. All right. So let me pull up. We are going, yep, let me wait till we get through so we're going back through the museum district. A few more places to run by. Yeah, no critical interventions on the Rice campus. No non-critical interventions. We didn't have to help the car out, get around people or vehicles or anything. We did have a red hands for a quick one for sunlight, and we did have a bad lane selection, but we did not have to intervene for the bad lane selection. And what I'll tell you is had there been traffic in the right next to us, it would have just rerouted again. So it is having, at that one juncture there, looks like it's having a little bit of issues getting over into the right lane over there. But again, we're talking about the Rice University campus, folks. Like, you're not going to recreate that place anyplace else. So I go to the Rice campus to see how it does around objects and people and just some things that you're not going to see elsewhere. So let's get through here. We're going through the traffic circle, doing a great job. Wow, it is just so good around this traffic circle. I would have never tried that right there on real early, like version 11, never. But even like real early versions of, let me, here. I hope I didn't exit out of that too soon, because it's making a left towards to go into the Contemporary Arts Museum. I wanted to go by Contemporary Arts, but it actually needs to go right now. So see, that's what I'm talking about. I hope I didn't screw this up with getting out of that navigation too quickly, but we'll see. Hopefully, due to the fact that it's sitting here for a while, it has time to figure that out. It's got to go left now. It is in a left turning lanes, and it's got its left blinker on. So hopefully what we do is we go ahead and turn left, and then it reroutes and just deals with my stupidity, not stupidity, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so there we go. There's the Contemporary Arts Museum. Beautiful place. And so now, yes, it's going to reroute us. There we go. Great job. It overcame me exiting out of a destination. So yeah, that can happen sometimes. All right, we got a stop sign here. Gonna take a right. It's gonna go a little slow because it's very, very narrow. All right, we need to make a right up here and then an immediate left on Montrose Boulevard. This is gonna be interesting. It can get a little busy here. And right ahead of us is the Holocaust Museum. So there's the Houston Holocaust Museum. Wonderful place. Obviously terrible commemoration to deal with, but it's a beautiful, beautiful museum. All right, our next destination to go by is the Children's Museum of Houston. Again, we're going to pass by the Museum of Fine Arts again. Man. There we go. Another red hands. We're gonna get it fixed, folks. Don't worry. Let me pull this back up again. All right. Children's Museum should be not too far from here. So once we get to the Children's Museum, then we'll head to the Museum of Natural Science and then on to the Houston Zoo and then back around and start heading back home. All right. It's our turn. Great job. There is the Children's Museum right there. So let me go ahead and exit out of that. That's a great place, obviously, to bring your kids. All right, our next stop, Museum of Natural Science. But yeah, if you got small kids, this Children's Museum is really cool. All right, make a right. We're gonna make a right here at Herman Drive at this four-way stop. There we go. Let me go ahead and pull. We're going to get over there in a second. Once we pull into the, take a left here in a second into the Houston Museum of Natural Science, I'm going to go ahead and exit out. There we go, it's our turn. Take a left, let's exit out. All right, now we are at the Museum of Natural Science to our right. And directly in front of us is Herman Park. Looks like we've got a truck double parked up there. Let's see how we handle this. Got a car that needs to park. We're going to wait on them. Well, that is tight. Are you really going to be able to get in there? Oh, no, he's not parking. Never mind. He's turning around. No problem. All right, let's see how we do here, because this person is parked, it looks like they're dropping off stuff, but we got oncoming vehicles, so let's see. We're gonna take our opportunity. There we go. Great job. And then we're gonna get up here to the stop sign and take a left. This is a four-way stop, or actually, I'm sorry, a three-way stop. It's our turn. We go. Yeah. Great job. All right, we are now on the Herman Park Circle. Go around towards the zoo. All in the middle here is a huge park, Herman Park. And you can see everybody coming out here to enjoy it with the great weather. 60 degrees, totally sunny, no clouds, beautiful skies. A father fighting with his son. Just beautiful. I am gonna go, once we get close to the zoo, I don't want to go into the parking lot of the zoo. So I am going to go ahead and exit out of that if I can. There you go. I think I exited out just in time. Putting on that blinker. I do not want to go in that parking lot. All right, Houston Zoo's right over there. Or actually right over there. That's overflow parking. Doing a great job here going by the zoo. Yeah, there's the zoo. Got a great zoo here. All right, got a stop sign. Cars coming through. People coming through. We wait. Great job. Excellent. Great job. All right, we're gonna have to get over to the left here in a second because there's cars parked. There we go. Making our way around Herman Park. Again, there's the Herman Park golf course. So there's a public golf course over here you can play too. This is a humongous place. So Herman Park is smack dab in the middle of the museum district. You can kind of think of it almost like Central Park in New York. Obviously nowhere as big as Central Park and not as wooded. And I mean, Central Park, shoot, there's certain places in Central Park you can go to, pitch a tent, and you'll never see people for a year. So it's not like that, but similar kind of setting. Very beautiful park right in the middle of the museum district and Rice University area. All right, continuing to move on through. Gonna bring this one up. Trip. Let's see if it, yep, there we go. Perfect. Just continuing to make now we got the medical center to the left. So you got Memorial Hermann Medical Center over here, Ben Taub Hospital. So everything to my left is the medical center. Everything to my right is the museum district. So literally the road I'm going on right now is what separates, going from the medical center. I'm going from the museum district. Now you're into the medical center. Got a little bumpy road here. I want the city to come out and do a little repaving around here. All right, we're going to make a right up here on Fannin. Let me go ahead and, nope. It's actually easier to see without it up right now. Let me. All right, we got pedestrians to our right coming through the crosswalk, so we're going to wait on them. Great job. Let them pass through, and on we move. Excellent. That is not my tires. That is the pavement. I was telling you, there's certain parts of the museum district where we really need the city to come out here and repave some of this. All right, we got a stoplight coming up. How are you, sir? Going to be going into another Herman Park circle here in a second. Let me go ahead and get this up. Make sure to make it get into the circle. Great job. Yeah. And there is the statue of Sam Houston in the middle. And we're going around the Herman Square Circle. Herman Park over there, Miller Outdoor Theater. Continuing to move around. Great job. All the way around. Look kids, Big Ben, Parliament. We got to yield here. We yield a little bit. Go ahead and take it. Go on through here. Got some pedestrians. The Mercedes waited on the pedestrian. So good job, Mercedes, right there. To the driver of that Mercedes. But not good job on running a red light. So you just did a really good thing, and then you turn around and do something boneheaded. What the? And look what you did. You just ran a red light. And we're trying to turn right on red here, but we've got oncoming traffic, and we've got a pedestrian with two furry friends. So let's see how we handle this. But yeah, we just did a great thing over there waiting for those pedestrians to cross. All right, we've got one more vehicle coming, and that lady's gonna stay put. She's gonna go after us. There you go. Great job. So yeah, and then he ran a red light to do what? To get stuck at a red light. All right. See, that's what you're supposed to do at a red light. All right. So we are coming. This is basically another place where we're right in the middle of the juncture between the museum district and the medical center right here. So all of this in front of us is part of the medical center. So just see how we do going through here. All right, got some train tracks there we need to get over. Doing good here. Looks like it wants to get over into the middle lane. It does that. Looks like we had a train come through. Got a little bit of congestion up here. You can see those railroad crossing lights up there, but it looks like they just raised the gate on it, so we should be good. We're about a quarter mile away from getting back up on 59 East Tex Freeway, go northbound and head home. And once we get up on the highway, I'll get back to talking about, well, what we'll do first is we'll debrief our drive through downtown Houston and the museum district and the medical center. And then I'll go through as well some of the questions that I've been getting on YouTube. Let's get out of here first. All right, get over to the right. Great job. Found a gap there, got in. Gonna take a right here on 59 North East Tex Freeway. Here we go. All right, we got to get over. Great job. Oh, we were about to merge there. We're gonna slow down. Yep, good job on not doing that. All right, we got that truck that did not want to let us in, but guess what? We just stuck with it. That is one of the best maneuvers where we needed to get over. We had a Ford F-150 just come hell or high water, wasn't gonna let us in. And we let that slide and got in right behind him. Because we literally were almost over there. We were about a quarter way into the lane and he just, but we didn't just get bollywalked, right? We didn't get the hibby-jibbies. Look at that. That was, wow, that was smooth. Holy moly. I'm telling you what. Its interaction with other vehicles is just so good now. It is, the way I'm noticing with version 13.2.1 is the way that it interacts with other vehicles, both on the highway and on the city, is, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, it's generally better than human. It is just doing such a good, now is it still having snafus with lane selection? Absolutely, we saw that today on the Rice campus. Is it still, well, obviously we're getting the red hands. So that, but that's not a FSD thing. That's not a, you know, decision making on FSD. That's something to do with gas or fog or something up in my camera well. So I promise y'all, I am going to, like I said, I've got a service appointment set up for a couple of days after Christmas. I don't know why today. It was like that one, there was that one specific stretch of Fannin downtown where I just did not want to, it was really funny. And literally at a stoplight. So, anyway. But yeah, I'm going to get that checked out. And like I said, those I don't, because that's going to all be gone anyway. Once they go to, unsupervised, you got to remember, a bunch of the stuff that's up in it, it's not even going to exist. So I'm less worried. That's a supervised world type of thing. Now, that being said, it's a pain in the butt when you're the supervisor going through that, but because obviously I get it, they got to put safety mechanisms in for me, but we'll get that all worked out. But as far as like traversing through the highway to get to downtown, the museum district, Rice University, the medical center, and then back onto 59 East Tex Freeway, and especially that merging that it did there, I mean, it's just phenomenal. I mean, it's clearly gonna get, I mean, it's just clear as day what it can do. Yeah, from my vantage point, and this is why I like to do these longer videos, because I am at an hour and 36 minutes now. We are clearly going to be over 2 hours when this is all done. And at least up to this point, the only thing I'd say is just get rid of the red hands and we're done. We're damn near done. It's like soup to nuts today, all over the most dense part of Houston, the densest parts of Houston. It's like, okay, well, just let's get rid of the red hands and we're good to go. All right, now I think we're firmly getting up onto 59. All right. So yeah, I said, I think we already debriefed the drives there pretty well. I mean, the story of the day is it just did some amazing things, very, very human-like. And then the subtitle is just get rid of the red hands. And there's literally nothing to talk about at that point. You're ready to roll out they're already ready to roll out a supervised service. They're getting close to being able to run an unsupervised service. And quite frankly, I'd almost tell them to skip the supervised part, because you'll get rid of some of the red hands by doing that, ironically. But I know they can't do that. I know that they've got to go through the whole, from a safety perspective. But it's going to happen here in Texas, folks. Let me just be blunt with you. If you live in the state of Texas, this service is coming sooner rather than later. So just get ready for that. And then what'll happen is other states will see these much cheaper ride-hailing rides taking place in the state of Texas, and they're going to be like, why can't I have that? Well, you serious? Like, they're paying 25% of what I'm paying. Like, why? Well, okay. So it's just going to be like dominoes. Once one state does it, so like, I'm sure there's some states out there would be like, God, Texas, God, but oh well. They don't have any other states don't have jurisdiction over the state of Texas, or the state of Florida, or the state of California. I don't know about the state of California. I don't know what's gonna, their politics are kind of interesting. On one hand, they're so good on technology, and it's the birthplace of autonomy, and where all this got started in the first place. But obviously, the politics with, yeah, we can leave that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of interesting right now. Whereas Texas is just like, sure, have fun. And if you want to buy a gun and a giraffe at the same time, so, I mean, any state where this weekend I can go buy guns and I can buy giraffes and lions, I think you're going to be able to have autonomous vehicles. So let's just be blunt. That's the state of Texas. So it's going to happen here. So really, it's more of a question for the other states, right? And generally speaking, the way these things happen is once one state does it, it's a domino effect. So that was actually one of the questions that I had on YouTube, like, what is this even going to look like? Because they're basically saying, hey, I hear all this about Tesla's Cybercab that they unveiled on October 10th. And that supposedly they have like some sort of modified ride-hailing thing going on with employees in Palo Alto. And that they're going to start opening it up in Texas and possibly California in 2025. What does that even mean? So yeah, so what it's going to look like. Some of this has been publicly stated, and let me just be clear and transparent. Some of this is me pontificating and based off of what I've heard other experts say about this. Is Tesla is going to roll out a ride-sharing service in the state of Texas very soon. Highly likely going to be in Austin first, because that's where not all, but a lot of the Tesla AI engineers are located, is in Austin, because obviously Tesla itself is headquartered in Austin, Texas. Their big gigafactory is in Austin. They have a whole bunch of engineers there in Austin. So it just makes sense that they'll highly likely roll it out in Austin first. But I think if they roll it out on a weekend in Austin, it's probably going to be in Houston the next weekend, right? Because if you think that Texas is a state where you just get things done and just go do it, and more power to you, and oh, by the way, please buy a gun and a giraffe and a lion while you're doing it, that's not Austin, that's Houston, right? So if you're talking like where everybody's located for Tesla is Austin. But if you're talking about the culture of Texas and the just no holds barred business, go get them, that is Houston. That is not Austin. So my personal opinion is, yes, they're going to roll it out in Austin first, because that just makes sense from a technological perspective, and where there's so many people that will look at it from a purely tech, computer, whiz kid type of aspect. But if you're talking about where the people are and where just go get it done. If you've got a checkbook and desire, go at it. That, my friends, is Houston freaking Texas. And to a lesser extent, Dallas. Houston and Dallas are much more business friendly than Austin. There's no offense. Now, Austin is much more business friendly than most other cities in the country. But if you're talking about the state of Texas and wanting to hit, the most business friendly areas and the folks that are going to give you the benefit of the doubt, it's going to be Houston, Dallas. Plus, let me give you the punchline. Between the greater metropolitan areas of Houston and Dallas, that's 20 million people. Right? So there's no way you're going to roll something out in Texas and not want to hit 75% of its people. Right? So if you think about it, 75% of the population of the state of Texas essentially lives in the greater metropolitan areas of Houston and Dallas. Dallas-Fort Worth, I should say. So Houston, however you want to cut it, 8 to 10 million people. Dallas-Fort Worth, greater metropolitan area, however you want to cut it, 8 to 10 million people. So you got doggone near 20 million people in those two metropolitan areas. It's going to get rolled out there, folks. So that's why I'm excited. I mean, it's going to be here, right? It'll probably roll out in Austin first, but it's going to come to Houston and Dallas. I mean, it would be, like, I get it. There's a bunch of whiz kid engineers and scientists over at Tesla, but if they don't roll it out in Houston and Dallas, they probably do need an MBA or two over there then. Somebody that's like, guys, I get it. All your buddies are right here, but there's like 20 million people in these. I mean, that's like the size of most states in this country. Bigger than the size of most states in this country are these two cities. So, and then that between Houston and Dallas, I-45 corridor there, that's about a 200-mile corridor. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, you could make a business out of just having cybercabs running north-south between Houston and Dallas on I-45. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's so easy. It's north-south. Literally, it is just due north. And then leave Dallas, it is due south. It is one interstate, Interstate 45. It is flat as a board. No mountains, no hills, no canyons, nada. Boring AF. It is just, and so that's why the city had always, or not the city, the state had talked about doing a train there for a while. But quite frankly, I think you're right now better served running cybercabs back and forth, and then eventually have the boring company come out there and possibly dig a tunnel. But I'm gonna tell you what, you could have a fleet of cybercabs going north-south between Houston and Dallas tomorrow in a supervised, well, eventually cybercabs, but tomorrow you could have a supervised Tesla FSD service with a bunch of people with Model 3s and Model Ys just going all day long north and south between Houston and Dallas, all day long going east-west between, and even east-west Houston to Austin is that's a couple hundred miles. So there's like this 200 miles each way, a triangle: Houston, Austin, Dallas. It's basically, well, it's not a true triangle, but you know what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know, what do you call that thing? An odd shaped triangle. There's a name for that. I went to Beaumont Independent School, so you got to remember that. But yeah, you could have people doing supervised Tesla FSD ride sharing in that triangle of Houston to Austin, Dallas, and back. Just running that triangle all day long and make a killing. Because I don't know if Tesla realizes this, but there are bus lines running that all day long as well. So, just my opinion. The one thing that's not my opinion is it's coming to Texas. And it's coming sooner than you think. And that's not just my misinformed opinion. That's Tesla putting out a post saying that. So, interesting times we live in, interesting times. And one thing I know for sure, there'll be at least one or two other states will follow suit. And then one thing I know for sure, after those 3 or 4 states, there'll be another 3 or 4 states that follow for suit. And then another thing I know for sure, after those 8 states, another 4 to 8 states will follow suit. And another thing I know for sure, I think you get my point, is that that's how this thing is going to roll out. While we work on some sort of national autonomous platform, some sort of strategy around autonomy. In the meantime, it's just going to go state by state. One after the other, after the other. I mean, it's definitely going to be Texas. My opinion, I think Florida's ripe for it. Obviously, California from a technical perspective. Don't know about from a political. We'll have to see there. But again, that's one state. But I could definitely see Texas and Florida And there'll be other states too. Ironically, probably southern states, which is the most ironic thing in the world. The states that have been the least receptive to electric vehicles and the least receptive to Tesla historically are highly likely going to be the ones that tell Elon, come on in, dude, show us what you got. It's going to be one of the biggest ironies of all ironies. And then what's going to happen is it's going to work. It's going to work with a supervised service. It's going to come in cheaper. And it's just going to start knocking folks in the face, companies in the face that are barely profitable or not profitable right now, and force them to either get profitable. And it's going to be hard for them to do that by lowering their cost. I'm telling you, we're in for some real interesting times, folks. Not financial advice. I do not own stock in any of those other companies. So technically I can talk about it, but I don't want to mention them because, again, like I'm saying, not financial advice. Well, one of those companies doesn't even exist in a lot of the areas we're talking about, but I'm still going to leave them nameless. I mean, technically they'd have to be in Houston first for me to say, because I've mentioned on X before, I'm sure they're great, but I have a better chance of seeing Bigfoot run out on 59 right now than see one of those vehicles. But again, in fairness to them, I'm going to leave their name silent. But yeah, it's going to be interesting times, and I'm so excited. Hey, and that's going to, you know what they say, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. Let's go. I mean, it could be good for those other companies, right? Get competitive, streamline. If you're not going to be able to pay your drivers, I mean, I'm guaranteeing you, there's a lot of folks driving Teslas that do rideshare. And if they can make more on a Tesla rideshare network, they're just going to do it. They're not wedded to any of those. Like, let's just let the cat out of the bag. They are not employees of any of those other services. They are independent contractors. They are business people, businessmen and businesswomen. So when you see a rideshare driver, they are not employees. They are independent business people using their vehicle as the capital to create the revenue themselves via that platform, which is also part of their capital. And that's what helps them create revenue. If they need to switch out capital, businesses change their capital structure all the time. And capital goods depreciate and have to be replaced all the time. So don't think in a second, or don't think that all those Tesla drivers on all those different platforms won't switch over immediately on day one. They will. And if the pay is good enough, I can see folks thinking, well, crap, should I think about leasing a Tesla? And oh, by the way, hint, hint, somebody was asking me a question why Tesla's changed their lease terms and made it more advantageous to lease a Tesla. So, I'm not going to name names. I'm going to leave them nameless because this is not financial advice. But I do think there's a reason Tesla made it. One of the reasons why I think Tesla made it easier to lease a Tesla. And you're about to find out in the not too distant future. Because it ain't for existing Tesla owners or Tesla leaseholders that are on those rideshare networks. It's for folks that may be driving a Toyota Celica, or maybe driving a Prius, or maybe driving whatever it is they're driving, and see this new rideshare app come up and see what they can do on that and go, man, my economic calculus as a businessman or a businesswoman may have just changed. Let me check out those lease terms. Oh crap, they changed those lease terms. It's more advantageous. Interesting. So again, that right there is completely my personal opinion and just a prognostication. Nobody from Tesla has publicly said that. As far as Tesla's concerned, they just made the lease terms more advantageous for its customers. But maybe, just maybe, they're trying to make those lease terms more advantageous to a new customer for a reason. Maybe get that lease rate up a little bit. We'll see. So yeah, that's what I think about. That's what's going to happen. Well, I should say think. That's what's going to happen with this supervised service. And that should be rolling out in 2025. And then eventually by 2026 and beyond, when Tesla starts producing at a mass scale these Cybercabs, those will be unsupervised. So eventually we'll have unsupervised FSD, and we'll have unsupervised Cybercabs. And yes, all the red hand stuff will be gone. Believe me, by 2026, not 2 weeks, 2 years. But by then, yeah, they'll have unsupervised, and that's where those Cybercabs that Tesla's going to mass produce at a scale of 2 to 4 million a year, and then it's going to be game over. Then it's just party on, like, and that's when the pricing is just going to get lower and lower and lower, and then we're going to have some new business models come into the fray. And that's going to be really, really interesting. All right, we are already at an hour and 58 minutes or so into this. So we're going to be over 2 hours by the time we get back to the casa. And I have, knock on wood, I have not had to have a critical intervention nor a non-critical intervention of any type. Did have some red hands there in downtown, but again, we'll get those taken care of. That was all that one little stretch, but we'll get that taken care of. Don't you worry none. It's so interesting though too with those red hands. It throws them up. I literally put my hand on the steering wheel, push the button, and it re-engages. Yeah. And then it, I mean, knock on wood again. And then I go an hour of driving at 85 miles an hour and don't get any of it. And the sun beaming right down on us. So yeah, that was one of the questions that I got, was just to kind of better explain the whole Cybercab, robo-taxi, supervised service, unsupervised service. So we're only about 6 or 7 minutes away from the house. So I really only got to one question today. Isn't that funny? This drive is going to end up topping out at over 2 hours. And my wife's going to ask me, she's going to see my list of questions. And she's going to go, oh, wow. You had a list of questions there from subscribers and viewers. And wow, I see your video was like 2 hours and 10 minutes. You're gonna have to come up with some new questions. And I'm gonna be like, nah, babe, I only answered one. Something tells me she's not gonna be surprised about that. I'm pretty sure that when it's all said and done, this video is gonna be about 2 hours and 10 minutes. And I'm gonna have answered one question from a subscriber. Please do not unsubscribe from me. I swear, I promise you, I am gonna get to all of the questions that y'all sent to me. We may have cybercabs running around by then, but I swear, I will go one of your questions. All right, we're coming up to the intersection of 494 and Knox Drive. We got oncoming vehicles from both directions. We got some more oncoming vehicles as we creep up very confidently. Got the GMC coming through. Man, I just love the confidence. There was that little dance, because Ty goes to the runner, a little dance between me and the GMC, and we took it. We just said, we're gonna take it. I just love it. It is just so much more confident. All right, come to the 0 mile per hour NHTSA stop, take a left. One question, I will tackle one other question that I got. I actually got a comment. This is more of a comment, I guess, than a question. Somebody was like, hey, we love your long videos. We love that you just let the camera run. Because they say that there's some folks out there, both good and bad, right, that will have short videos and not show anything else, and they'll either only show the good stuff or only show the bad stuff, right? So like on either end, like I've seen some videos of people basically they just hate on FSD, but they'll literally only show a 10-second clip of FSD not doing something exactly the way they wanted to. And it's like, okay, but you just told me you were on the 405. So I know you were there for 2 hours. So like, that's it? That was it's almost like they're selling FSD with trying to put a bad clip out there, because it's like, we're at Supervised, folks. So if you just spent 2 hours on the 405 and all you can come up with was one 10-second clip of a red hands, like, you just sold Teslas, you just sold FSD, and you did it unwittingly, but that's what you're doing. So I put the whole thing out there. That's my preference is, and almost all of my subscribers and folks that follow me like it that way. I think it's the best way to ultimately do it. The best of the best do everything. So like Homar's blog, the best of the best, he puts it all out there. So he'll give you the full, unedited, unbridled, here you go, freaking 3 hours of me driving from Houston to San Diego. You know, don't let your head fall on your computer. Make sure to prop it up so that you don't get knocked. But there it is. Whatever you want to do, whether you love it or hate it, go at it. But then he'll also carve it up, and I'm going to start doing some more of that as well, like Omar. He'll carve it up and say like, well, here's some interesting spots. If you really want to see where I think in that 3-hour drive that it did, you know, something interesting, something new, here's a clip of that. So I'll probably start, you know, going through it and see if I can find those as well. But he also just puts the whole 3 hours out there. So it's like, nobody's hiding shit. It's all out there. Go out to Omar, go out to Dirty Tesla, go out to Chuck, go out to JD, go out to all those guys. They put it all out there. But yes, there's going to be some shorter clips. The folks that just put out a short clip of it doing a snafu when we're still in supervised mode, like, what are you doing? Put out the whole damn thing. Show us your footwell, show us your front windshield, and show us all 2 hours. But make sure, like I said, show us your footwell and where your feet are. Show us your steering wheel and everything. Back the camera up and show us everything, not just your windshield. And run it for 2 hours. But instead, we get an iPhone up here just showing the windshield for 15 seconds. So remember that when you're going through and folks are sending you stuff, ask them to send you their 2-hour video and ask them that it's cut like mine and Omar's and Dirty Ted and all those guys. Ask them to send you that as well, or to post that or publish that. And I already got the answer for you. The answer is going to be they don't. Because that's not part of their narrative. But you know what? You know who doesn't care about their narrative? The state of Texas does not care about their narrative. And the state of Texas is going to do this thing. And JC is going to turn off the blinker. So, yeah, that's just what I would remind them of, is that this is happening. This is going to happen. 100%. So my advice to those folks is definitely help push this along. This is still in supervised mode, and we have improvements that need to be made, absolutely. But help it. Don't just try to do a 10-second video of it making a snafu, and that's it. And also, show us what you were doing with your brake and your accelerator during that time. Help this, because we have 45,000 people every year dying on our roads, and y'all are out there playing games with people's lives right now. When y'all do this, when y'all make a short clip to try to help your short position on something, when y'all are doing that, you are playing with the lives of 45,000 Americans. And I'm not going to let it happen. The state of Texas is not going to let it happen. This is going to happen here. So I don't care where you sit, where you are today, what you're trying to do with your videos. And I'm looking right at you. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. And it's going to happen right here in my backyard, where you can buy a fucking gun this afternoon, or a giraffe or a tiger, and bring it to your backyard. It's going to happen. So help us. Don't try to impede it. All right? Now with that, thank you everybody, and thank you for subscribing. I do. Thank you for subscribing to me. You can tell I'm very, very passionate about this. I am, first and foremost, I know I'm wearing this Tesla hat. I know I'm in a Tesla, and I'm a Tesla fanboy. Go ahead and put me with that. But I'm first and foremost, I'm a Marine. I am a United States Marine. I got on those little yellow footprints when I was 18 years old, and I put up my right hand, and I swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States, to the people that reside in it, and the country that we defend every day as part of our oath to that Constitution. And I take that seriously to this day. And so for me now, as an old 55-year-old fart, Marine veteran, this is the way I do it. And the way I do it is by having 2-hour and 11-minute and 30-second long videos of showing it all to you. And now what I'm telling you is, did I have some red hands today? Yes, I had a small handful of red hands. But did I just have 2 hours and 10 minutes and 44 seconds of just amazement? Technologically amazing. This did not exist a year ago. And you know what? A year from now, this is going to look like crap. It's just going to get better and better and better. And so I'm just passionate as hell about it. I am passionate about ending death on our roadways. And I take that passion, I'm going to say it, I'm probably a bit more passionate about it than most in the Tesla community, even the Tesla fanboys, because I did swear an oath and they didn't. So I mentioned all the OGs, and I love them to death, but not one of them swore an oath to the people in this country. I did. And so I take this very seriously. So when somebody cuts up one of my videos and does something without asking me and mischaracterizes it with it, I take that real seriously. Or when somebody tries to throw a hindrance into Tesla FSD when it's out here trying to save lives and you're trying to work against it, I take that very seriously. And I just say, I swore an oath to every single American. So I'm still out here for you as well. And some of you I still consider a friend. But I'm hurt. I still consider him a friend, but I'm hurt. Yeah. And it'll be all right. I'm hurt that they did that for impressions and whatever else they did. But I can forgive, but I don't forget. All right, everybody. I do love all of y'all. Sorry to get so emotional there at the end, but I needed to say it. For myself, for the Tesla community, for y'all that are new to this. This is serious business, folks. We're trying to save lives out here. And so I'm very serious about that. And so, yeah, let me end this now before I just go. I do want to say thank you to everybody that follows me on X. And I want to say thank you to everybody that watches my videos on YouTube and makes comments, even the ones that are hateful. You're still helping my algorithm. So if you hate my video, please make a comment that says you hate it and tell me how badly you hate it. And please use as many letters of the alphabet to explain how much you hate it to me. It just helps the algorithm. So I'll take that too. And yeah, any likes, comments, and please subscribe. You know, even if you hate it, even if you're looking at my videos for ulterior reasons, just at least go ahead and hit the subscription button. That's the least you can do, right? Just go ahead. It doesn't cost a thing. All you got to do is hit that little button that says subscribe. And I would really appreciate it. And all I can tell you is that every single day I will try to earn your follow and your subscription. That's what I can promise you. I'm retired. So like I said, I live in a Tesla down by the river with a GoPro in my face. This is what I do now. The Lord has blessed me to have the ability to ride around all day with a camera, with a GoPro in my face. So I'm going to sign off and just say I love you. Thank you, everybody. And I hope y'all have a great Saturday, rest of your Saturday, and a great rest of your weekend. Bye. Love y'all.